Good morning, חודש טוב, שיעור למשפטם של הקדושים והטהורים. אומרים פרשת שופטים, שופטים ושוטרים תיתן לך בכל שעריך. We should put, קודש ברוך הוא tells us, we should put judges and policemen in all the gates. And of course, they have to judge the people. ושפטו את העם משפט צדק. First of all, to know what שערים we're talking about, what gates are we talking about. So there are a few kinds of gates. But first of all, let's understand the basic, which is a gate that there where the court is going to be. Why in the gate? Because everybody knows what it is, and if you have a problem, you just go to the gate, and in the gate of the town, there is the court, and then you can go and complain and do whatever you need. So the justice will come as quickly as possible. You don't have to look where it is. That's why it's in the entrance of the town. That's where the court is. Then, of course, what does it mean? It says to us, which is very interesting when we read the parsha. 1 minute. When we read the parsha tells us, שופטים ושוטרים תיתן לך בכל שעריך, אשר השם אלוקיך נותן לך לשפטיך, and then to the tribes, ושפטו, and will judge the people, משפט צדק, justice. And a few interesting points. What does it mean, שעריך? We started to explain. What is shvatecha? So Rashi explained to us, if let's say in one town they have 2 tribes, so you need 2 courts, because each tribe needs its own judges. And if you have 3 tribes in the same town, you will need 3 courts, because every tribe needs to have his own judges. Why? Because if we think about it a little, is everybody's got a different behavior, and sometimes something that you can explain that you, let's say sometimes things that you do, and the others, like when you do it, it's like a terrible thing, but in a different society it's an unbelievable thing. For a simple example, I had a relative that came from the States to a wedding here, and with her mother and a family, and she went here to shops to buy a dress for the wedding. And after 2 hours, she came crying to her mom. Says, "No, crying why?" He says, "What happened?" He says, "Every shop I'm going in, I'm trying a dress. They say it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time." He says, "What did they exactly say?" They says, "Haval al hazman." Hablaz, Chaval al Hazman. Do you know this expression? So I tell you what it is. Chaval al Hazman it's unbelievable. It's good. It's a slang. So she translated it to English. Chaval al Hazman. It's a waste of time. And she, of course, got insulted and she came crying. So this sometimes you say, like for example, when I got before I got married, I came for dinner to my in-laws. And they wanted to show off the beginning, and I came. They had this table like with 4 dishes and 10. I'm exaggerating. 10 knives, 10 forks and spoons and different glasses, and you know how it works. So what I did, I'm from a Yeka house, and of course we have let's say 2 forks and 2 knives for let's say for fish and for meat, but that's it. But the English, my wife is English, they have, like if it's something official, they have all those dishes and glasses. This is a glass for wine, this is a glass for whiskey, this is a glass for water, and so on and on. So what I did, I just looked what they are doing, and like this, and I saw that they're starting from the right, from outside to inside. But if somebody doesn't know and he's got all those forks in front of him, what does he do? Some people, in their tradition, they eat from a central plate with their hands, with a pita in their hands also. And certain behaviors in a certain place will be wow, and in a different environment it will be, what are you doing? It's terrible. And by the way, it's the same in business. In business, all the same story. So we see that there are different behavior, different expressions, and if the judge doesn't know the tribe, doesn't know the people that involved, he can mistake and cannot do justice, because when he got insulted, and the real truth is that he didn't say anything to insult him, and on contrary, it was a blessing or whatever. Like in some places, if you have a grapes, it's say, wow, this was a beautiful meal. In other places, what? Stop! What are you doing? And so on and on. So, in order to understand and realize who is standing in front of you and if the behavior was correct or not, you need to know the environment of this guy. You need to know the behavior of the family, of the tribe. In our days, also the same thing is the judge has to be, if we want to be justice, so we need judges to be from all kinds that will know the people that come to them with a different behavior. If it's, let's say, ultra-Orthodox guy, if it's somebody who is not Orthodox, if it's somebody who is, let's say, comes from a different country, and so on and on. I'm just making a point that there is an idea behind it that every tribe needed his own judge. So maybe if there were, let's say, two people, one from this tribe and the other from the other tribe, so they brought one judge from his tribe and one judge from the other tribe, and this way they could do justice, because oh no, you think, no, this is not an insult, this is a blessing, or this, no, he didn't mean this, he meant that, because otherwise you won't know how to do justice. Okay, then this is, we have in every town, we have a court in order to have justice as quickly as possible. And then there are also gates of the year. Gates of the year, for example, the gate that we're going in now is the Chodesh Elul, Ani LeDodi VeDodi Li. Today is Rosh Chodesh, and this is the Chodesh that we are, let's say the Netivot Shalom says that's not the last month of the year, it's the gate to the beginning of the year. And you know, when you go in a gate, you have other sha'arim, you have the gates that when you go in, it's your own gates. But as for example, when you go today, you go to the airport and you want to go on a flight, you're not allowed to pass through the custom liquids and of course knives and other things. You have to leave them behind, not bring them. The same thing is here. You go in the entrance of the new year, you're going now to Chodesh Tishrei, to Rosh Hashanah. You have to clean yourself, and you go in clean without any objects that you're not allowed to take in. In other words, no sins, no bad things, leave all the bad things out, go in with the right foot, with the good things, and this is the way to go in the gate. And of course, for this you need a different kind of gates, which are the gates of the body. The mouth, the eyes, your ears, your nose. Don't let everything go in. Don't look where you shouldn't look. Don't hear what you shouldn't hear. Speak only good things. Don't speak bad things. And make sure that your influence of what's happening around you is not going to influence you in a way that there is no going back. For example, this is the story with a father and a child going on a way with a donkey. And they meet somebody, says, you have a donkey here. Why don't you put your son on the donkey that you can ride? He's a little kid. It's hard for him to walk. He says, that's a good idea. He put his little child on the donkey and they're walking. Then they met another guy who says, what's a chutzpah? Why? The child is on the donkey and the father is walking? Where is kibud avayim? This is not the right behavior. So the father goes on the donkey also. Then they meet a third guy, and the third guy tells him, are you crazy? Tsar Balei Chaim, look what you're doing to this little donkey. Both of you riding on him? At it? Are you crazy? So what did they do? Both got down from the donkey, and they put the donkey on their shoulders. It's a funny story, but that's what happens if somebody listens to everybody. Unfortunately, we see it in politics, we see it everywhere, that people want to make sure that people like them. So this guy says this, the other side gets this, and eventually, of course, you have to be very careful. Not listening to everybody what he tells you to do. This is שופטים ושוטרים תיתן לך בכל שעריך אשר השם אלוקיך נותן לך ושפטו את העם משפט צדק. And when we're talking about the gates of the year, and the most important gates, as we said, is the gates of the body, to keep ourselves from problems and make sure that we are not letting anything wrong go into us. And sometimes we listen to things, and sometimes the best thing is to go away and, let's say, have a small talk with God in order to straighten ourselves and to understand and listen to what we should do. We see that the law that we're talking here is the law of the Torah, because the law of the Torah is the only law that's going to keep us in the right way. לא תטה משפט, לא תכיר פנים ולא תיקח שוחד. It's written, שופטים ושוטרים תיתן לך. You should put on yourself שוטרים ושוטרים. But maybe some people think תיתן לך, I am going to nominate the judges, and they will do what I want them to do. They will be my judges. לך, they belong to me, and they will do what's in. In other words, justice is for others. For me, even if I do something wrong, they're going to judge in favor of me. And of course, this is the wrong way. Titen lecha, the meaning is that you should understand that the judges that you nominate, the judges that you put on yourself, they are going to judge you also the same as they judge all the others. And then the Torah tells us, לא תיקח שוחד, don't take bribery, כי השוחד יעוור עיני חכמים, is going to blind the wise people, the clever people eyes, ויסלף דברי, and going to distort the talks of the tzaddikim. And the first question is, sorry, what do you mean? What do you mean? Well, the shochat, bribery is, normal people can take bribery? Why are you talking about tzaddikim and chasidim and chachamim? And we have to understand a very interesting point. Of course that nobody should take bribery, but when we're talking about taking bribery, there is a very simple thing. The tzaddikim, they have this gratitude. If you do something good for a tzaddik, he feels he has to give it back. That's why, for example, Moshe Rabbeinu didn't hit the Yaor, because he was saved by the Yaor, by the river, so he didn't hit the river in the blood plague, because he was saved by the river. But the river is not something living. It doesn't live. It's a domain. Why should he be careful about this? But this is something that you have to feel, the feeling of gratitude, akarat hatov. And with tzaddikim, of course, it's more developed. So the idea is, even if you are clever and if you are a tzaddik, sometimes, and you're going to, let's say, you think you're going to have the right justice come out, the minute that you get something from somebody, a favor or whatever, you are going to, inside, it's going to work that you have to giving back a favor. And there is a story about a Tana that he had a guy that was working in his fields, and he had to give him every month fruits from the field that were his, belonged to him. And one month he came earlier, and he came at the day, Thursday, that's the way where they have all the court cases going on in the town. And by the way, this Tana, he was one of the judges. And he comes and he gives him free before the fruit, says, why did you come today? Normally you come in a few days. He says, no, I have a court case here, so I came earlier and I bring you your fruits. So the first thing that he did, this guy says, okay, I'm not going to judge you because I cannot judge you because you brought me the fruits. But I tell you what you should say, and in order to get out of the situation that you are. And he found out that he's really giving him good advices, and then he was going outside the court and listening, trying to listen what's going on inside. And he told to himself, look at it, I got fruits that belong to me. It's mine. It's not his. It's not bribery. It's mine. But still, I'm walking here and thinking for his favor. Why? Because he gave me the fruits that are mine. So in other words, we have to understand the minute that we have any benefit from one of the sides, this is not going to be a justice. This is going to be, let's say, evil. That's going to be on the other side. This is sometimes things that we see in all the life. You know, if somebody is got something from, you call it connections. You know, you have connection, good connection. And in good connection, you can get things that other people cannot get. Okay, that's life, but certainly that cannot be when you have a court case. So this is why the Torah is warning especially the clever people and the tzaddikim. Because, by the way, bribery can be a lot of things. It doesn't have to be money, it doesn't have to be fruits. It can be somebody that you know, and then you are thinking in favor of him as a friend or whatever. So you have to say, I'm not judging this guy. I need a different judge. We can talk a lot about judging people in the right way. And we see what's happening here in Eretz Israel. And the Torah is going on and telling us, Tzedek, tzedek tirdot, justice, you will need to chase the justice, leman tichyeh, for you will live, v'yarashta et haaretz. That's the way to live in Eretz Israel, to inherit Eretz Israel. Asher Hashem Elokecha noten lach. In other words, if we want to inherit Eretz Israel, if we want peace and quiet, we need to start going in the right way, the laws of the Torah. The justice of the Torah, which is the only justice that there is. Let's see if there is something else that we can say today, and quickly, because there's a lot of things today, and they're all going to take time, so we are going to just say again, we have gates. Shoftim v'shotim lecha b'kol sharecha. The one kind of gates, it's the gate of the year. And this is the gate that we go in Chodesh Elul, Chodesh HaSlicha v'Rachamim. This is our opportunity to do the best, because the God, Amelech Basadeh, the king is in the field, is near us. Normally you have to have an appointment with a king, and it takes time, and you have to come to a certain place. And once a year, the king goes out of his palace and he walks among the people, and everybody can ask him whatever he wants. This is what's happening now. Amelech Basadeh, the king, Melech Malchei Amlechim, the Kodesh Baruch Hu, he is now with us. He's always with us, but now he's really near us, and we can ask whatever we want. Is et ratzon. The Rav Pinkus Zatzal says in Chodesh Elul, if you want to you have two ways to do tshuva. One way is learn the lachot of the Rambam, and see it's not easy. The Rambam comes to a certain point that if you want to really do tshuva, you need to be in the same position, the same situation, and not do the evil what you did, which is of course terrible, and I'm not suggesting anybody to do this. But says the Rav Pinkus, Chodesh Elul, there is another way. There is the way God wants to embarrass us. It's like a father didn't see his children for a whole year, and now he sees the children and is opening his eyes to hug them. And what we should do is run to the arms of the Kodesh Baruch Hu, of our Father in heaven, and hug him back. And this is the way we can be saved. This is the best gate that we can go in. Imagine to yourself that somebody is turning around and not giving a hug back to his father that he didn't see for a whole year. And there's a lot of explanation for this. Maybe we'll talk about it. This is the gate of the year. This is the opportunity that we have to go in right foot into the new year. And I hope that everybody can do this. Then there is another kind of gate, which is the gate, as we said, the gates that you clean yourself before you go into the gate. And there is the gate that the judges, that every court has to be justice. And in order to be justice, you need to have the judges to know the people that are standing in front of them with all the nuances and judge accordingly. And in every town, you need to have a court in order to have justice as quickly as possible. And if there are two tribes, you need two courts. Every tribe has its own court. And if you have from, let's say if you have one from this tribe and the other from this other tribe, so you need to have judge from this tribe and another judge from the other tribe. And of course, the most important gates is the gates that we have ourselves, to keep ourselves from entering to places that we shouldn't go. Don't let anything bad go into us. Don't speak badly. Don't eat things that you're not allowed to eat. Don't listen to Lashon Hara. Listen only to the good things. Look where you should look, in the best places. And let us all clean the places, clean our body, and make sure that the judges have also the policemen, Shoftim v'shotrim titen lecha, that make sure that we go in the right way of the laws of the Torah. All the best.